Hey guys, welcome back, and we are at it again with the 2013 Cadillac CTS. And no, it's not the intake manifold gasket we're doing today. So far, my fix from my last video on the PCV valve hose fixed the car. But we have a bigger problem now. I think it's a wheel bearing, but we're gonna use the code reader, find out. We got all kinds of weird lights flashing up on the dash, like a Star Trek control panel or something. So we're gonna take a look at it really quick and probably replace the wheel bearing. About 6 months ago, I had to do the driver's side wheel bearing. Had the same issue with all the lights coming on for the traction control, ABS, all that stuff. Same thing happened, so I'm gonna throw the code reader on there, see what the code is, and probably have to order hub assembly or wheel bearing and stuff for the other side of the car. Today working on the 2013 Cadillac CTS. It's the luxury edition, all-wheel drive, and the rear wheel bearing is bad. A way you will know if you have bad wheel bearing is your traction control, ABS lights, all your lights for all that stuff are going to come on in your car. And then the way to figure out which one it is to use a diagnostic tool, scanner, plug it in, and it's going to tell you which one it is. In my case, plugged it in. It's my left rear, so we're going to be replacing that today. I've already got the car jacked up on jack stands, pulled off the wheel and tire. Now I'm getting ready to get in there and pull it all apart. I did look it up. It looks like it's going to be a total pain in the butt, so I got some special tools to hopefully make this easier. And then just some of the stuff I'll be doing today, like I said, jack stands under the car. I've actually got a couple of them under there just to make sure it's held up there, plus the jack. Got some PB Blaster, I've got some anti-seize lubricant, I've got an impact wrench, socket set, I've got a little torch over there, and then I've got breaker bars and some weights. I also will be using a puller tool, like a hub bearing puller tool, and that's where those weights will come in handy. Everyone online says that they really had to add extra weight to be able to pull that off, so that's what the weights are going to be for. That'll be exciting, and hopefully it makes it so this actually comes off. I did buy this entire assembly on the backside that the wheel bearing mounts into in case I can't get it off, so I can replace that if needed. Hopefully I don't have to do that. Hopefully I can just replace the wheel bearing, but we'll find out. Yeah, we're going to take off the brake caliper here. There's the brake caliper, then there's a bracket it sits on. Both of these things have to come off. You could probably remove them as one assembly, maybe not, depends. I'm going to pull the caliper out first. It's just a couple of bolts on here, and then this will pop off, and then I'll get to the back and remove the bigger bracket bolts, and then get that popped out here really quick. And then this brake bracket was held in by like a 13 millimeter here and like an 18 or a 19 up here. And there's those bolts. They had some red thread locker on them, so I'll make sure I put that back on. But this is where I did have to use this breaker bar to get in here and break them loose. But then once I broke them loose, I was able to use just the ratchet here and get it off the rest of the way. So now my brake bracket will actually just slide out. And that's out of the way. There's my brake bracket there. And the caliper, I've got caliper hangers, these guys here, these little hook things. There's nowhere really to hook it on the back of here. This thing does have plenty of room. I was able to put it up on top of this arm here and let it set here to take the pressure off the line. You don't want to have these dangling with pressure on those brake hoses, because that could actually cause them to break and leak, and that'd be bad. So now we've got that brake caliper bracket off. I've got to remove this axle nut here, which it's got these little groove things on it. I just got to pry that out a little bit, put my nut on, my ratchet on there, take that off. And then we'll take this off. There's a little Torx nut here that we'll pull out. That'll give us access to the wheel bearing behind it. All right, so then here's my little kit for my bits. You guys have seen me use this one before a lot of times. And then I've just got one of these guys. I'm going to put this in here to just pry these up like that, so you can pry out the little tabs on this axle nut here. Otherwise it won't let you unthread it, so it'll be important when I put this back together to make sure I put those tabs back in as well. But you can see I'm prying them out there. I'm just using a pick from a pick set to do that. You can use a screwdriver to do this, or whatever tool you have handy. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull that nut off, pull that bit out, and then pull this rotor off really quick. And I've got this axle lock nut set, so I've got the tools necessary for this. You can rent these at auto parts stores if you don't want to buy one. I work on cars enough that I need these tools, so I've got it. And it looks like on this one, it's like a 36 millimeter is the socket size for that nut right there. And like I said, I'm just using this little electric 20 volt impact wrench. Should work just fine on something like this. Yep, there we go, just like that, pretty simple. And then I just hit that little Torx socket, or Torx bolt there with some PB Blaster. And it looks like it's a T27. So I said I'm gonna use my little adapter kit here on just a ratchet and just pop that out really quick. That shouldn't be in there too tough. You know, this would be a really good time to do brakes if you needed to do brakes on your vehicle as well, because we're at the point where you could do your rotors and your pads now really easily. So I've just shown you literally how to get to your brakes on the rear of this car, and the front's very similar. Like I said, I've got my little bolt out there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this rotor off, see if we can get this this hub out of here. You know, I'm kind of just waiting for that moment where this doesn't work out the way I expect, because it's coming along pretty easy right now. That seems bad. When you get to this point, the rotor might be a little difficult to get off because it might be stuck on there from you know, rust buildup and stuff. Grab yourself a rubber mallet and just beat around the rotor. Do not use like a sledgehammer or like a metal or iron hammer. Don't hit that rotor. Use one of these, and honestly, just go around and hit the outside, and you can see it's loosening that up for me, so that way you can wiggle off. And that's all you need to do. Just get yourself a rubber mallet, beat around the outside. It might be kind of difficult, but just give it a few good whacks. It'll come loose. All right, there, now I got the rotor off. I put this nut back on just to kind of keep those threads and stuff safe there. You can see the parking brake assembly in there now. It's pretty dirty. This car has been driven a lot, 100 and some thousand miles. But now, in order to actually get the hub the rest of the way off, there's 3 bolts that bolt onto the back side of this thing. They're gonna be back in here. Those are the ones that seem like they'll be kind of a pain in the butt, but we'll find out. Like I said, I've got that torch if I need to heat them up, but we're gonna try to get in there and get those out quick. This would be a good time as well. This is the speed sensor wire right here. It's held on by that bolt. We're gonna go ahead and take that off really quick, and then that's one of the 3 bolts holding the hub on. Here's another one right there, and there's one down in the bottom there. We're gonna get all that taken out really quick here, and then see if this thing comes off. I hope so, because these things suck. And the reason they suck, in case you're wondering, is the arms and control arms and all this stuff on here are aluminum. And then the wheel hub assembly is metal. Well, metal and aluminum over time, rust forms and it like sticks them together. So it's a real pain in the butt. It's very common if you're working on one of these, or even like Corvettes and stuff that use those aluminum arms. A lot of vehicles do this. It's going to be a pain in the butt, and that's where some people get stuck with this, and it gets really frustrating. And even though I love working on cars, this is where it starts to really annoy me sometimes. And then once we get that 10 millimeter bolt out of there, we're just gonna wiggle this a little bit and pull it out, and then we'll clean it off before we reassemble. All right, so a little bit of an issue I ran into. The wheel speed sensor is actually broken on this vehicle, and that might be contributing to the code I'm getting. I'm gonna replace the bearing. I'm in here anyway, I'm gonna do it. But I do need to order a wheel speed sensor. The next problem is I'm not sure what that's gonna look like when I get in there, so I've already got the whole assembly to mount the wheel bearing to, so I'm gonna replace everything. I'm just gonna pull all of this out, put the new assembly together. So that means it's going to be a little bit more work. I'm going to have to mess with the parking brake. I'm going to have to mess with just all the different pieces of that. I've got to order the backing plate because I'm not going to probably separate this wheel bearing from the like the hub assembly it sits on. I'm just going to leave it all as one piece, pull it out, put together the new assembly, and put it in. This is a little bit more work than if I was just replacing the wheel bearing, because really I just pull out the 3 bolts on the back, pop that off, and replace the wheel bearing. So I'm not going to be using those weights I have, but what I would do is I would put the weight, the hammer puller thing on here, and put that weight on there, and use that weight to really give me some extra leverage to pop that hub off. I've seen that work for some people. So you're not going to see any of that stuff in this video. Instead, what you're going to see is me replacing all of this, which honestly, maybe not a bad thing too, because guarantee you some of you guys are going to run into the same problem. So just placed the order for the parts that I need. So I'll finish doing this video probably next weekend or here in just a couple minutes for you guys. All right, we're back. It's about a week later. I had to order a new wheel speed sensor, which I think I showed in the last part of the video. So I went ahead and did that. And then I also ordered the new, I don't remember what the heck it's called, control arm bracket or whatever it's called in the rear of this that the wheel bearing sits in. And I ordered a new backing plate. In order to make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to remove this entire assembly and put an entire new assembly on there. Honestly, the parts can be had for pretty cheap. Like, I think the control arm bracket, or I'll put the whatever it's actually called in the video, it was like $45 or $50 through Rock Auto. So it was super cheap. And I'm like, you know, instead of going through the headache of trying to pull this stupid hub bearing off, I'm just going to spend the 50 bucks and make this a lot easier on myself. So here's that new assembly that the wheel bearing sits in. You can see this is aluminum, this is metal, this is going to be rusted in the one that's on the car. So to make this easy, like I said, I'm just going to pull the parking brake off and I'm going to remove all of this. It's just, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. I kind of hold it on. So then I'm going to mount the backing plate onto here, the new wheel bearing into there, assemble it on there, replace my wheel speed sensor, which is right back here, with the new wire, and reassemble everything. This is going to be a lot easier than me trying to muscle this stupid wheel bearing off, because that thing's going to be rusted. The front one, I spent like a week and a half trying to get it off before I ordered the new control arm and just did it all, and it took me like 5 minutes once I did that. Probably take a little bit longer than 5 minutes because I am messing with parking brake on here and stuff, but we're going to get this pulled apart and get a new one put in there. If you don't work on cars regularly or on a lot of vehicles, you might not have a lot of the tools I have. So you might not be able to do this without having to buy some tools. This is going to take some impact sockets, an impact wrench. It's going to take some big wrenches to get this, because some of the stuff we're talking about is like 24 and 26 millimeter for some of these nuts and bolts on here. Kind of like that stuff there. If you don't have tools or you don't have the stuff, I do leave a link in the bottom, just a link to somewhere you can buy like a mechanic's tool set that includes some of this stuff. But just be aware of that before you jump in and start trying to do this if you don't have the right tools, because that would suck. All right, so we're back at it again tonight. I got a little ways into it last night and stopped, but now you can see I've actually got the hub, parking brakes, the little, I don't know what the hell it's called, control arm thing, real well here. It's just some of these body clips that hold it on. And then we use my favorite tool, the trim panel tool. So I use these on like every video. So we're gonna pop all those out. I've already popped a couple out there. Pop those out there, kind of around there and there. And this whole inner fender will come right out, and I'll be able to get to that clip that's right back there and put that new wheel speed sensor in. And then it's just a matter of putting together all the new stuff, transferring the parking brake stuff over to the new assembly, all that stuff, and then put it back together in the reverse order. I'm not gonna lie to you and say this is easy, because like I don't think anyone with no knowledge could do this. This is a little involved. There's a lot of bolts and nuts and a parking brake, which is like a drum brake kind of inside of a disc brake rotor is how it works on these, which not just everyone knows how to do, but Google's your friend, YouTube's your friend. You can find a lot of videos that show you how to do this stuff. And I mean, you could do it. It's just going to be a little more involved than some people would want to do on this. And then once we have that inner fender well off, you can see here's the plug I need to get to for this wheel speed sensor. And I've already disconnected all the little clips that wrap around the backside there. So now I can disconnect that, get the new one in there, routed and ready to go. And then just in case you're wondering on this little red piece on mine, it just kind of pops up. I did have to get a screwdriver in there so that way I could get it off this retainer clip so I can pry that out and then separate that. And there's that little red clip I was talking about. It kind of sits down in the clip and holds a piece little black clip on above my finger there. It kind of holds that against the little clip thing there on the sensor. So you have to remove that in order to push this tab back. On the top right there's like this little tab. And once you pull that red clip out, it allows you to push that in and then separate the sensor plug from the plug on the vehicle. It's a little bit tricky if you've never messed with one of these before, but honestly, once you know how to do it, it's super simple. Comes right apart, and then the new one just snaps in, and then the red clip slides in right there. And then here's my new wheel speed sensor assembly with all the clips attached to it that kind of mount up back that way. So I'm going to put that in really quick, and then we'll start on the assembly of the wheel hub and bearing and everything. And there's that new plug assembled again, just in the reverse order. Like so, there's that tab that pushes down there, snaps into place, and kind of holds that assembly together so it doesn't come apart. And there's the new sensor routed, all the clips attached on the control arm here and the bracket there, and just waiting to be plugged in to that new wheel hub there. Alright guys, and that's where this video is going to end. So now you know how to pull your hub bearing off, your knuckle off, replace your wheel speed sensor. I did run into a little bit of a problem. I spoke way too soon earlier when I said I was expecting to run into problems, because I did. I ended up stripping my axle nut and stripping the threads on my CV shaft. So I've ordered a new CV shaft. So in my next video, I'll show you guys how to move the parking brake assembly from the old hub assembly onto the new one, how to replace a CV axle on the rear of this car, and then how to reassemble everything. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button on the video. I appreciate the support, and until next time.